What's going on today, guys? We got some more headway going on the SRT4. If you saw the last video, you saw me cut out all that disgusting rust. Well, I came home after I got it all repaired, and I kind of had to do some more work to it. And not surprising, but I ended up kind of having to tweak the quarter panel a little bit, and don't worry, it's not done yet. This is just an initial coat of paint. I just wanted to see and make sure everything fit correctly, because on the inside, if you guys had seen, it was actually rubbing the bag on when it aired out. The bag would hit the tire, and it was just barely rubbing away at the outside. And I don't know how bad or big of a deal it would have been to keep it that way, but I saw that it was rubbing and I wanted to obviously take care of that. So I put a little bit more spacer in there, and if you can kind of tell, I put a little bit of a flare on the quarter panel, just a little one. So all this has been body worked and sanded pretty smooth, and I've just got a coat of paint on it, like I said, to test it all out. So this is this side, and I've got literally like a couple millimeters of space between the bag and the tire. So now you'll see on this side, the reason why I had to do the little flare is because we weren't getting the fitment that I wanted. Like, yeah, it's pretty good, but like you can obviously tell it's just sitting on the tire. And if you guys saw, this was like super like coated with overspray. So what I did was I took all the decals off and I clay barred it all, and then I'll obviously have to sand like this thicker spray paint off. But so what I'm probably gonna do is go ahead and take the wheel off. I'll go ahead and flare this out a little bit and just kind of show you guys exactly what I did on the other side. And then if I pull this out just a little bit, it should go fender to lip like we want it to. So I just wanted to kind of update you guys on that, and just keep the process going so you saw how it all turned out. Obviously, you guys just saw me grinding that away, and then I went back with 2000 grit wet sandpaper, and that's how I got all that overspray off. And then I came in here and cleaned all this stuff up. So basically, I'm going to start making my little flare. I might do just a little bit of body work, and I'll come back through and cover all this with that same white paint. And like I said before, I know this isn't like 100% correct, but since I have the decals on this side, I'm just gonna go ahead and cover all this stuff with the decals. That way I don't have to do, cause like if I wanted to do this correctly, I would have to freaking tape all this whole quarter panel off and respray the whole entire quarter panel. And I really don't wanna do that right now when it's literally just the bottom wheel well section. So yeah, for that reason, I'm just gonna mask it with the decals. My main concern was just getting, obviously, the rust taken care of. So I'm just gonna try and do my little flare and start on the body work. I used a hammer and dolly and got this flared a little bit, and I ground all of it down because it's gonna have to have body work anyway. So it's kind of hard to tell that it's flared, but as you can see, it's fitting right where I want it to be. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is super close to the bag. Let me switch to flash and see if you can see it. So I know it kind of looked like it was hitting the bag, but we actually have a little bit of clearance, like freaking paper thin. That's all we need. I just didn't want it rubbing anymore. So I've got the fitment dialed on the quarter, and the bag has a little bit better clearance now. So like I said, now I'll be going back through with body work on all this, and I'll show you guys real quick what body work I'm using. We've got this right here. You don't have to use specific stuff, but this is just what I have. So I'll be spreading that on there and be sanding it down and getting it looking a little bit better. And as you can tell, did some priming after all this body work and sanding. Looks much better than it did. Obviously, there's still deep scratches from sanding, but had to get some primer on there. I'll go back with, I did 80 grit for the body work, and I'll be doing 180 grit, then 220, and then 400 probably, and then I'll paint all this stuff white and start putting the decals back on it. As you guys can tell, got it all painted up right now. You can see the white line obviously from the epoxy paint, so I just wet sanded this again, and I'm going to tape off a little bit higher, that way I can blend the factory color. You can kind of see with this factory paint wet sanded compared to this dull like fresh spray, it kind of matches decent. So I'm gonna like back tape up here, spray one more coat over that, and then I think I'm gonna clear coat it, and it should blend pretty good. So that's where I'm at. It's a little orange peely, but once it hardens and everything, I can wet sand and buff it if I want to. So I'm really not too upset about that. Not for some freaking rattle can clear. I mean, it's 2K, so it's supposed to be really glossy, but I mean, I've never tried it before, but it looks like it's not too bad. It's just a little bit worse than a factory paint job. So, I mean, it looks way worse on camera than it does in person. But either way, I mean, like I've said a bunch of times, I'm freaking covering it with decals for the most part, so not too bad. The paint freaking lifted. I put the Duplicolor, like paint match stuff out of a can, and of course everything was fine up until that point, like you guys saw. I put it on that, and somehow the paint was lifting. Something to do with the reaction from the paint underneath it, I'm not really sure, but I was pretty bummed about that. So I literally had to sand all this all the way back down, which I ended up realizing I needed a little bit more body work on this anyway. So I was able to do that, but it lifted and it wasn't good. So pretty much had to restart on everything. But I guess you'll have that with this kind of stuff. But this side looks pretty good for the most part. I've already got clear on it, so I'll probably do one more coat of clear on it, and I'll be ready to unmask it and hopefully put the freaking bumper and diffuser back on. That's what I'm trying to get to right now. It's been like a month since I've had the bumper off, so not too bad. From here, I mean, there's paper, but you got the sheen. You can see the door shine, and then you can see the quarter. It's not too bad, honestly. It's just an in-home job, not too bad. Went ahead and unmasked this, and obviously you can see the line where the tape was, but I'll wet sand that all down, and I don't think you'll be able to tell much, but depending on what light, you can't see a whole lot. Plus with the decals, it'll really hide it. Not bad for all rattle can stuff though. Alright guys, we've got another side down now. It honestly, with the shadow of the body line, it makes it look pretty good. But I actually sanded with 2000 grit up to here. So whenever I go to blend this clear coat, I can use probably another 2000, and then I can buff this out to shine again. So this will actually look a little better. But the main reason why I was, busting my butt trying to get this all done is so I can get the bumper back on. I don't remember if I said that before. So I'm getting ready to throw it on, and we'll be able to have the bumper and the diffuser back on. Underglow will be connected again, and thankfully finally get this thing back on the ground with the bumper. So that was the goal. I'm getting ready to do that now, and I'm just gonna go back and wet sand and buff it hopefully tomorrow maybe, but at least you'll be able to see it all back together. So that's what I'm going for right now. Man, we got it back on the ground. Obviously missing some decals. I got the bumper back on, the diffuser. Underglow's still working. Freaking magnificent. I am missing one nut right there because freaking almost all the bolts broke, but I need to get one more nut to put right there. But we're looking good. I don't have it aired out all the way because I don't know how dry the paint is. I don't want to like touch it or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys what it looked like with the bumper back on it. So gonna drive it tomorrow, let it cure a little bit more, do some buffing, and I'll show you when it's all done. I just want to take this time to just kind of give a little motivation, because I know I said like the paint was cracked and I had to redo a bunch of stuff, but like just that's a little small thing, but there's a lot of shit like that in life, that stuff just isn't going how you want it to. It's not going as planned, and you want to give up, and it sucks, but you just got to push through, Like, I thought that I was going to have to quit for the night, and like that the repair was done and it was all ruined, the progress of what I made. But, I was just patient, and I pushed through it, and I kept going on, what I wanted to do. And now we're back, I already showed it, I know, but just like, it was all messed up. This whole side was freaking, all of this was lifting. The whole arch was lifting. And I was like, well, that's done for the night. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to restart and regather myself and push through it. And like I said, I know it's not a huge deal. It's not the end of the world. It's just the car. But like, I feel like it can be applied to, a lot of stuff in life. And, I'm kind of about like, obviously positivity and stuff like that. And I just want to say, like, if there's anything right now that's holding you up, or something that's discouraging, but you want to get past it, just try and push yourself. Just tell yourself that you can freaking do it, and that you believe in yourself, because that's all you got to do. Like, I know it's not as easy in different situations, but if you believe that you can do it, and you tell yourself that you're gonna do it, and you speak it, like, I know it's super cliche, but it's true. If you freaking put your mind to it, and just push through, you'll get it done, I promise. And you might have to work extra freaking hard. It might not be as easy as it was like what I did tonight, but I don't know, just for anybody that might need to hear it, just freaking, if there's something that you're chasing that's giving you fits, just freaking push through and keep going for it. You freaking got it, all right? I know it was a little off topic, but I just felt like I wanted to say that. So, yeah.